Hey guys, and welcome to Outline. Today I will be making a beginner tutorial video, and I'll be showing you how to make this small house here. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're just going to press our SketchUp icon button, and then we're going to move on to opening the actual software. So here we are. Mine's a bit messed up, so I always have to scroll around to try to find it. Hopefully yours is already at a good location at the start. So we're going to grab our rectangle box tool, and we're going to make a rectangle. And we're just going to scan to make sure we like the size of it. After that, we're going to grab our stretch tool, and we are going to stretch our box upwards in order to make a three-dimensional figure. So now we're just going to make sure we like the size of it. So I'm trying to make a small house here in this video, so we're going to make it a bit taller, maybe a bit wider as well. Just going to make sure we like that size. Looks pretty good. So now we're going to start with the door and the window. So I'm going to start with the door. Here we go. And a window. So once again, we're using the rectangle tool to do this. So now we have our door and window in place. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna reset them back to give the house a little bit of depth. But before we do that, I think we're gonna put a frame on the window. So we want a frame on the window just to add a bit of detail to our house. You can also do this on the door, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll only be doing it on the window. So we put a smaller box in the larger window box, and then we can play around with the depth of the window in order to make a frame. So we reset the door and the window back at this point, and so I think we can move on to the roof now. So there's many ways to do a roof in SketchUp. I'm going to show you guys what I find is the easiest way. We're going to grab the pencil tool. We're going to draw a line on the roof. And so what we're going to do now is that we're going to pull it up as high as we want the roof. So if you want a lower roof, don't pull it as high, but if you want a higher roof, play around with it. So I'm going to make it about this tall. I'm just going to make a line around the box in order to separate the roof from the rest of the house. So here we go with our third line, and now it's separate from the house. Alright, so now we're going to grab the stretch tool, and we're going to stretch a little bit because sometimes it's nice to have the roof kind of surpass the rest of the house in order just to make it look a little more detailed and a little bit nicer. It's a quick way to add a little bit of detail to the house. So now we're going to draw a triangle within the roof. So starting from the middle, and it tells you where the middle is. You draw two lines going out, making a triangle, and then you get rid of what you don't want with the stretch tool. Then you grab the stretch tool once again. We're going to pull we're going to stretch it as far as we want, and so we want to make it look symmetrical, so pull it as far as the other one. So you see it's a bit blue underneath the roof there. That's because I made a mistake earlier. Hopefully that doesn't occur for you. But anyway, moving on. We're going to add a little bit of detail to the roof. Remember, this is if you don't want to put as much detail, don't feel the need to do this, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I will be adding a little bit of detail in some areas. So there we go. Now we're going to do the same thing the other side. Oh, we're going to pull that out first actually, and then we're going to do the same thing the other side. So if you didn't catch it earlier, we're going to show you again. So we're going to make two lines, making kind of like a border within the triangle. That way we can just play with the depth once again. So kind of stretch it out a little bit and make it look like an actual roof. So there we go. We kind of have the frame of the house so far. So now we're going to go into a little bit more detail. And we're going to go inside that rectangular box. You press a little arrow and then you can get a circle. And so for that circle, we're going to use a circle in order to make a doorknob. So we're going to stretch that a little bit, not too much because doorknobs are pretty small. And there we go. So we got our overall shape of the house with a little bit of detail. And so I think we're ready to move on to color. So press that bucket, a bucket way up there. And so we can start with some wood. Mine was already open. You guys might have colors, so you're going to have to look around. So there's that little, where it says wood, you just got to, I'll show you guys later actually. But anyway, for now we're just going to kind of color in everything that I want wood with wood. And so here we go, kind of doing the frame of the house in wood, the door, probably do the window frame as well, just for a bit of consistency. There we go. Alright, it's looking pretty good. And see, that's what I was talking about. So you press that arrow and there's a bunch of different options. So Now we go to translucent, and we're going to get the window, so that's a bit transparent. So what you do is that you change the opacity. Opacity, some people like to say it different ways, whatever. And it's a bit less that way, so it's not as noticeable that the interior is empty. So now we're going to change it again. I think go to bricks and cladding. We're going to get some red brick, put it on the house. There we go. So now our house is really starting to come together. Once we add the brick, it looks like an actual house now that we've added the textures. So that's an important part of making your house in SKETCHUP. Alright, it is looking pretty good. Oh, forgot some brick there. There we go. Oh, there as well. So we're getting close to finishing, but now we got to go to roofing. Where is it? There it is. Alright. And I think I'm just going to go for a pretty simple roof for this one, but you can see there's several options, so you can kind of play around and see what you like. Yep, so obviously we want both sides, we want the same texture. So there we go, we got our roofing done, and it looks like our house is pretty much finished. So as I mentioned earlier, that was a beginner tutorial. I hope you learned a lot. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel down below. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.